Sinaloa, donde la mafia controla.
Oh, gone.
The seas are now safe now that we got you in the house.
Jesus
um,
Christ, man. Quiz
uh,
number one, after all.
um, there's now a plunder pass, a season pass, a battle pass.
Whoa, let's hit the pause button right there, boys. Yo, chat, you heard that? Season pass.
Yeah.
Fortnite. I'm feeling the vibes. I feel the Fortnite vibes. Do we have Do we have pickaxes now instead of cutlasses? Do we slap each other with fucking spot tail bass? What do we do here?
You can now throw a splash tail at an enemy now.
Rare's coming up with some good ideas now, boy. That sounds like Rare to me. Yo, chat, you hear that? I get to throw splash tail bass at people that I don't like now. That's epic.
It's mainly cosmetic based. I mean, there was a cool snipe with like a green like dragon underneath it sort of. That was
Okay.
cool. It's kind of like Asian themed. Um and then there was like a bunch of different hairstyles, a couple beard styles.
Oh, come on, man.
Um
Nothing can beat the hauled mini skirt samurai looking outfit, bro. That's just too iconic.
well now they have like a Raiden outfit, like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's it's it
Oh, the seas, man.
it's pretty much like the new Reaper costume. You know, like you see someone with that on and you're like, okay, this guy.
Yeah, man. My opinion on Sea of Thieves in general is when I first played Sea of Thieves Magellan, I fell in love with SOT because my whole father's side of the family lives on the water. Like my ancestors were literal fucking pirates. Like I have a whole tattoo of Davy Jones on my right arm as we speak. Like it whenever I heard about that game, I feel like from all the hours that I played that every day, I guess I could sum it up to it's probably the best game idea to ever be created, ran by a bunch of fucking monkeys. Ran by a bunch of monkeys, bro. Like, I feel like the devs destroyed a big piece of what I loved in the game. But then again, we can always look past that and just focus more on the good times instead of what the devs have, failed to attempt. But as far as Sea of Thieves go, man, I made some awesome fucking friends. I've talked to a lot of cool people. I've made some unnecessary enemies. I mean, I can't keep a grudge. I can't stay mad for over an hour. You feel me? So as far as all the drama and the hit in just the bad hit detection goes, all that shit flies out the window pretty quickly. If anything, I just miss hanging out with the homies. Yeah.
Yeah, the hit detection was something that was sort of, just built up a lot of frustration and resentment with a lot of people, and a lot of people ended up leaving. There's a lot of new crews, a lot of new players, and a lot of the OGs are
Or
just
still playing, right? Or just still there. They're just there to vibe out. Well, you see that's another thing that I kind of wanted to mention, it as if it mattered anyway. A whole lot of people in the SAW community will be the first to tell you that any new team will never really get to truly experience what the first upcomers felt, which is, in my opinion, true. But then again, it's kind of relieving that people are still playing it and trying to make teams and just trying to be what the OGs once were. Because I mean, somebody's got to carry that torch after all. Because not only do they get to play with a group of people that they trust, it's it's real good memories at the end of the day. When you look past all the dumb PvP shit and the sword spamming and the hit detection, about as small as an ant, it at the end of the day, you make some awesome fucking friends and you have some of the best memories you can think of just on an animated pirate game. And that's just the funniest part about it. On an E-rated pirate game, you've had the most fun.
Now, what was like the last montage you saw? Like,
The last montage I've seen on
yeah,
Saw, that had to be it had to be the Bandits anniversary montage.
yeah,
Anniversary montage. That was the last one I seen. That shit went hard, man.
yeah, the one where, yeah, I know the one you're immortalized. I bet is the one you're,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, that's the one I watched. Yeah, it, oh yeah, them boys are something else, man.
yeah. Glitcher Brain. There's definitely something wrong with YouTube right now. I know Glitcher Brain dropped an edit like less than 2 weeks ago that I never even got a notification for.
I haven't seen it, man.
Yeah, he dropped something very recent. Um, and I was on my lunch break, and I was like, "Wait, I like how come this never popped up in my feed? Like, what is going on?" Um, but I mean, he's still around actually. Glitcherbrain, he's still around.
Well, I'm not gonna
Um,
say that I'm not subscribed to him because he might show up anonymously through the party and double gun me in the fucking teeth. But I'm just gonna say to be on the safe side that I haven't seen it, and forgive me for that sin because I try to like watch all the new clips. Nowadays, I feel like nowadays when I watch montages from SOT, it's like it's hard to be different. It's almost as if I'm watching the same shit that I've seen 500 times. It's so hard to be creative on a Sea of Thieves PvP montage. That's a very hard thing to do because everyone's already done it. Any idea that you have, someone's already done it and someone's already watched it 200 times over. That's why in the beginning, when all this shit formed, I suppose that's why they say that they'll never really feel that vibe when you first started because everything was new. Everything's fun when it's new, but and I can't hate on any team making a montage because that takes effort to do, but it's very difficult to be creative, and I guess that's why Glitch has always been such a good editor because he's different. He's built different. He's always got different ideas, and that's just why everyone watches, and I can't blame him. The edits are amazing.
yeah. I know he put out a Logic montage.
Logic, the guy that landed the jump shot, dude. That yo chat, the guy that landed the jump shot. Yo
uh,
chat, I'm a big fan. Holy shit.
he put there was some rumors saying that he didn't have permission to put out that Taj or something. Like I think that's bullshit. I think Glitcherbrain, if Glitcherbrain decides to make you an edit, motherfucker, you better be proud he decided to make you an edit. Now, I don't think the permission, like, I don't think he needs permission. I think if
That if the
go
man
ahead.
wants to make you something, you just nod your head and sit back. That's all you do.
Precisely.
You nod your
Precisely.
head because the coolest thing about a montage is you got something to watch when, it's years later. It's like 5 years later. You have that still. You get to somewhat relive a memory that you once had with a lot of people that you liked. There's some people out there that are extremely talented and saw it. That's never really made a montage, and they'll never really get to rewatch themselves back. So if you were, if you took the time to make one, and it's just you, like if it's a solo personal montage, that's pretty cool, man, because you'll always have something to look back on. Like me, I never really had that luxury to watch back, on me. But then again, I am in a few other montages that I could easily watch just to, f feel the nostalgia again.
Yeah,
So I'm cool with that.
you had a part in the conquest montage with the with the very well spoken prayer at the end. I must say, you're
The Guao, the prayer to Guao, man. Let's still hope he doesn't fucking send us into all damnation. Yeah, he must be Yo, Guao, yo, chat. That man's gonna be so pissed when I switch to PC. He's gonna be frowning upon me and shit like I gave this man privilege.
now. I know you said that the last thing you saw was immortalized, and and
Yeah.
and was is there any chance that you might not recall, but you did? Did you get to see Dunbar's newest project? He put
Oh, wait. Okay,
Dunbar
yeah.
put
Well,
out
yeah, that was
something
well after
called
the anniversary.
it
All right,
was it
you
was.
see, I just lied to everybody, man. I can't remember you see, I'm a fat liar now because I did watch that shit, and I like that too. Dunbar and Glitch, if those two made a montage together, they'd come up with some fire shit, man. That'd be some fire shit. It probably won't happen, but
What about
unless
what
if it
about the
did.
battle? What about the battle? Glitcherbreen versus Dunbar. Not for supremacy and reign of the entire throne, but just for the culture. What would you think of
I'd
that?
like to see it. I mean, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just those two specifically. It could be, anybody that just thinks they can make a cooler montage because, like I said, it is so hard to be different and be creative in a Sea of Thieves montage. That's hard because I can I can bet you right now that you could watch all these montages and they'll be the same. It's the same shit. So if there's any way they can do just one or two things that are different that no one's seen before, that's the eye catcher there. That's what makes it so special. And I can't speak of experience because I'm not an editor, like I don't do that stuff, but I've watched plenty enough to just know what's good and what's not good.
What about okay, so a lot of the older Tages with respect to Xander um are mainly shots on the ground, two shots, three shots, a skeet shot. What do you think when you see these newer Tages, which you probably may or may not have seen? What do you think when you see these kids um two tapping people before they hit the ground? Where they shoot up at the fort, they bounce off the top of the fort, and still manage to two tap someone before they hit the water. Do you
Uh,
do? Go ahead.
my opinion on that would be there's a lot of players that I know, and there's a lot of players that I don't know. If we're talking about a misfit or a bandit, them two shotting someone out of it, like out of the air, they do that all the time. That's not a once in a blue moon, gotta clip it, gotta put it in there. They do that shit regardless. They'll hit you from anywhere. So that's why I value their montages better because when they hit shots like that, that's just them playing the fucking game. But whenever I'm watching other people's montages where they do it, I can easily see that it's somewhat staged or they don't do it often, so they had to add it in there. It's just it's a cool clip, of course. I mean, you two tap somebody in midair and it actually registers. Like, what the fuck? I'd be happy too, but it's not they. It's not their game style. They aren't really that good enough to do it consistently. Like a misfit would or a bandit would. Like it nowadays. I feel if people put that in a montage, it's because they're a little too happy that they hit it, which evidently tells me that they don't do that built different type of shit often, which doesn't surprise me anymore due to the game getting worse and worse as dying, but that's just my opinion on it. So whenever I see a guy like Xander or Middle or anybody that I know that is just completely built different and saw it do that sort of shit, it doesn't faze me. It doesn't surprise me because they do that all the fucking time. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
it's normal to them, but it's not normal to everyone else. They get a little too happy. They start jumping up and down and shit. They start skipping and shit. Like to those boys, it's just another kill. It's just another kill,
Now,
which makes it much more special.
now Middle, some may argue he's still the young prince of the scene. I don't want to say the king because he's
I
just
mean, come on, man. The guy literally has a peg leg.
Okay, okay.
Yo, chat, this man has a peg leg.
He seems to be unable to leave the game entirely.
Are
Now,
you saying that he still plays this broken E-rated animated pirate game, or are we just assuming?
a small little bit of assumptions, but I've seen text in different Twitch chats. I've seen him make a couple pop-up cameos,
You couldn't stay away, huh?
and it appears as if he's having issues fully leaving the game. Do you think he has the ability to regain control of the seas?
Magellan, he's never lost it. He's never lost it. He's always been in control of the seas. Like that when you ask me that, it's almost as if you're telling me somebody once was on the top of the mountain, fucking fell down it. Can he reclimb it if he wants to? Absolutely. Honestly, if we're talking about Middle specifically, give him 2 arena games to warm up, and it's almost like he never left. Like, you see, someone with that talent just doesn't lose it all. That's not possible. I compete in MW for money right now on CMG. I could take 2 weeks off, come back, get about maybe 2 or 3 1v1s in, and it's almost as if I never left the game. When you're good, you're good. Like that's why these boys can go play other shit, and when they come back, they regain it like they never lost it. That separates the pros from the amateurs. That's just how it is. So if he comes back, he'll still remain one of the best in the game, regardless. Literally, just let him spawn camp just 1 or 2 ships, and there you go. That's it, just like that. It's almost like he never left. I mean, he has a peg leg, bro. That's cheating. He has a peg leg. He has a peg leg, Magellan. That's cheating, bro. My man's got a peg leg, for Christ's sake.
So then,
It's in the middle.
so then you're neck deep in, is it Modern Warfare? Is it Warzone? Cold War?
Right now I'm doing CMG wagers with just S&D, Respawn's Hardpoint. Whenever I get this PC coming in, it's a $5,000 killer machine, dude. I got some of the best parts in here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm flexing on it, man. It's almost unnecessary what I have in here, and I'll list the specs off later. But
Okay.
I'm gonna main Warzone with it, and I'm just gonna compete on CMG. There's money tourneys all the time on there, and the people that I play with are just freaks of nature at the game. Which, from playing pro in other games, it really just showed me that I could have been 10 times better than what I was in SOT if I wanted to. It it's just when you go pro in other games, man, you just realize that you could definitely be better than, what you are now. And I see what they meant by that now. I suppose after all this experience and trying to abuse the game for what it is and try to abuse every little exploit to have my advantage in a gunfight, it'll really show you that you really weren't shit back then, but now you can be, which is an awesome feeling.
Let's talk a little bit about Conquest, and there's
Conquest! They
there,
number one.
definitely
Conquest is number one, man.
one of my favorite crews. Even though Utmost seems to hate every fragment of my bone marrow, Conquest has always been one of my favorites due
No, they're
to
my favorite.
the Cutlass. And is there any, I'm not saying that it's dead, but is there any chance of a full-on revival and reunion of the Conquest Boys?
And are we talking about specifically Sea of Thieves or any game?
I mean,
Because
I'd like to say Sea of Thieves, but if everyone's kind of feeling like they're moving on, what game do you think would be the most likely?
probably something like Overwatch or any battle royale game. Like Apex Legends, I can see that happening. I don't know this for sure because I haven't really spoken with anybody recently. I kind of just been doing my own thing, staying in my own shell for a little while, so I couldn't give you any facts at the matter. But I do know that those boys are still well talking to each other. They're still a team. They'll always be a team. They'll always, hang out with each other. It's just a matter of what will they do next. SOT is what made them, but what they'll move on to next, no one could really tell you. I couldn't tell you. Hell, they couldn't tell you. Like the subject is about them, and even they couldn't tell you. I think right now they're in a mix of trying to find out what's right, what feels right.
Yeah, I saw that Utmost uploaded a Call of Duty montage.
But
It's
did
a
he?
yeah, it's a little bit of a shorter project, very watchable. Like if you have 1 minute, if you have one spare minute, you can
Oh,
watch this
I had my phone
video.
on the charger though. I had my phone on the charger though. It died whenever I got back to the house, dude.
Oh,
I feel like throwing a tantrum, but I'll just save it for later.
yeah. Um I'm not saying that he's copying um a different editor in the scene, but
Copying.
yeah. Um but
Because I mean,
but
Utmost has always
he's
been a good editor. Always.
yeah. But
Are
as
you talking
far
about like an
as
editing style?
no, but just as far as a little bit of the length of the video, and
Ah.
I feel like he might be potentially mimicking how someone else does something.
No,
Those
well, I'll
of
give you my opinion on that right now.
okay.
Utmost, and I know this for a fact, Utmost doesn't follow anybody. Utmost is his own king. He has his own crown. He sits on his own throne, brother. He doesn't follow behind nobody. For God's sake, he's the leader of the team I was a part of, that I feel like I still am. Utmost has never been a follower. He's never been the type to fanboy anybody. He's been a guy with his own vibe, and you couldn't kill it even if you wanted to, man. So I would have to disagree there. He's probably seen a style and
Mhm.
thought, I can do this, what he's doing, but better, and just absolutely meme on the guy. But Utmost is not a follower, not a fanboy, never has been, and I don't think he ever will be, bro. I mean, it's Utmost. He's not gonna just fall into some bandwagon and roll with it. He's literally the creator of his own team. He just not Utmost, dude. Anybody but Utmost, no.
Now I give utmost credit for sort of being like the godfather of time remapping in Sea of Thieves. I feel like he might have been the first person to bring that whoosh whoosh effect, like the side to side distorting the angle.
He's a man of many traits, man. He's a young fella with a lot of traits. He's anything Utmost picks up from what I've noticed, anything he does for a while, and if he genuinely likes it, he'll be really good at it than the average player because Utmost is built different, you see. He's not like everyone else. He's literally like as far as console goes, if we can go back to console. We don't even have to stay here at PC. On console, he was the MVP, and he's going to be the MVP on a PC as well. Anything you mention about Utmost, you can't take anything away from him, and you can barely give it to him because he won't. Nothing's going to stop him whether you give him the recognition or not. And that's why I've always respected him for, all that he's done. He's not, I love his vibe, man. He just does his own thing. He's going to do it regardless if you like it or not. You can talk all you want, but you won't do anything about it. And that's just the vibe that I went with. That's why I was a Conquest member. Those were my boys. And you probably didn't even know this, but I was a Vendetta before I was even a Conquest member. I was kidnapped by Conquest. I was kidnapped. They grabbed my ass, threw me on the boat, and said, "You coming with us." And I never saw Vendettas again.
Now, Just Dreaming seems to be one of the last Vendettas. I have nicknamed him the Last Vendetta. There was a small moment in time, maybe about 2-3 months ago, where Fake News had a TDM server going, and
Fake News skill,
and everyone made teams, and Dreaming's team was Vendetta. And the people that joined up on that, I believe, I don't know all of them, but I know Fake joined up on that. And this other guy joined up on it. I'm now drawing a blank on his name. Why is this happening? No. Let me see if I can pull up his name real quick.
Still at it till this day, huh? Oh man.
Yeah, Dreaming is back. I actually ran into Dreaming.
I've had a lot of good times with Dreaming. Dreaming was actually, he wasn't a bad player at all. He was always pretty good. I still remember, I still remember doing TDMs against Dreaming, and I was an absolute tank. I ate the most shots in SOT, man, arguably. Like, I was a body armor machine, man. Every time he would shoot me, I would eat that shit. He'd have to go through at least 20 shots for one to reg, man. It was so funny. I loved it.
I actually ran into him about a month ago, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Time is funny in Sea of Thieves. It's hard to actually track when this was, but
everyone knows everyone in SOT by now, man.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody. That's why everybody plays on alt accounts, because they got to.
So I in...
I owned one alt and played on it for a day and never played on it again. I don't know, dude. I could never play on an alt. It's just not me.
Yeah, well, he was definitely on his main. So I load into this arena lobby. I've got some of my mafias in the Discord with me. I'm by myself. I'm just looking for a TDM. And I load in and Dreaming is standing in front of me. I'm like, fuck. I can't dodge this. Like, I have to play this. Like, I have to. I cut videos on this kid. There's no way I can leave the lobby right now. And so I start inviting a friend. He's not getting the invites. I'm like, dude, I gotta go to the fort. I can't just leave this match. And they're like, leave the match. Let's go search gallery.
I got an idea. Take your router, throw it out the fucking window, and just said it broke.
Yeah.
Take your monitor and just throw your fist through it and just say, sorry, man. Technical error. We'll get him next time.
Yeah.
And then proceed to call him bad so you can just leave with the bad word.
So
That's just the go-to.
So I pull up to the fort. I'm like spamming my friend. I'm like, I need a teammate. I need a teammate. They start ship shooting me and shit like that. I know.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, fuck it. If you're not getting the invites, I'm just gonna get out there, take the fucking ass whooping, and call it a day. Like, I owe this guy, I owe it to him to get on that fort. And I get on the fort, and he was really good. I was not surprised, but definitely, definitely humbled is what I was. 100% humbled.
But think about it, man. It could have been a lot worse. You
Yeah.
could have fought somebody 10. Dreamin would admit that there's players in there that would, not even let him see a kill. But it's not how. It's just the people you gotta watch out for, man. There's some really good individuals that used to play that game, man. And I don't know if any of the newcomers will ever match to what used to be. But if they did, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Be deeply surprised.
Any of these new players that stand out to you that you may have noticed, whether it's their gamer tag or whether it's
I don't know, not one of them,
No?
man. I don't know them, and they don't know me. I don't know them, and they probably don't want to know me, though, because I'm a goofy motherfucker, man. I don't know. When I enter the chat, when Hald enters the chat, that's Hald's chat. That shit's mine now. I don't know. I'm like the one motherfucker that's just lost his mind that you just couldn't kill. Like, you could have shot me 1,000,000 times. I just don't go down, man.
No, there was a massive. Do you remember like the first ban wave where like tons of people? Yeah. Okay, so there was another one of those, and there were some people that got banned just by affiliation. That are you familiar with a player named Surfree? Surfree?
Yeah, I brought him into this community.
He was affected by this, and there was a lot of people saying
really? Because I'm the reason why Surfree was ever here. I bumped into him on Arena, asked for some 1v1s. I 10-0'd him, and I kind of like showed him around to all these good players. Then, boom, he comes into the community. I've introduced at least 5 people to this community.
Yeah, there was a lot of people affected by that, and it's almost like they have a system now down. They know how to get around the ban. I'm not going to go into any of that, but they know how to get around it, and they continue to play the game. Do you think that's just kind of testament to just kind of the incompetence of the devs and, like just...
The devs have always been incompetent, and this only makes them look worse. Like, you know what they say about assuming makes an ass out of you and me? They assume that since this guy is friends with this guy has to go. I honestly believe that the devs are just pussy whipped by Ash. They do what they want, even though most of the players that they're getting rid of has spent well over $100 in this game. I think that the devs, well, I don't think shit. I know the devs don't give 2 fucks about anybody that's not kissing their ass, and that's final. If you don't kiss the dev's ass, they'll get rid of you for no reason. You could be in a lobby with somebody that has power with the devs, and all they got to do is mention one gamer tag, and you're out like that. The devs have always been full of shit, and nobody's going to, change my mind about that because I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it before anyone else has seen it. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that I'm not fucking gone from that guy. I should have been the first to go with my annoying ass. I should have been the fucking first.
Yeah. I mean, I don't believe I would definitely protest if they banned you. I've talked to you and I've had the pleasure of playing with you and setting sail with you, and
well, I've done a lot of things, man. I've I've done a lot of memes that were quote unquote inappropriate to the devs rule set, to the Pirate Legend handbook here, but if you turn to section 3A 32B, you can see that Hall doesn't give a fuck because he has no brain cell to think about it. So what you think there's one simple solution, right? Yo chat, check this out. Ban Haldarson from the game. Nah, bruh. Nah, we'll keep him around. He's a little figment to the element. We'll just use him as bait. Anybody that talks to Halder gets banned. I'm pretty much the devs' bait, man. They use me as bait. I guess I was the most. I was just. They looked at me as I was so bad that they just couldn't get rid of me. They had to use me for something.
Yeah, I mean, they keep doing stuff to where people have less and less and less faith in them. They did like release a patch note saying that, you know, the hit rag is something they're eventually gonna look into.
Oh, yo, chat. You know that's cap. You know that's cap, chat. Yo, chat. You hear this, man? Chat, man. I don't even want to hear that twice.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. I'm gonna throw a tantrum if I hear that shit again. They should have been fixed the shit, but they don't know how to. They're an off-brand company that, for some reason, made the best game idea in the fucking world, and that upsets me because it could have been ran by people that have a degree.
Yeah, the bugs are honestly insane. I threw down my gilded about a month ago, and
I've
actually
stole so many of those.
I got mine
Oh,
stolen by the server itself, man. I ended up like
I've stolen
shooting
so many Athenas in Sea of Thieves, bro. I've stolen so many.
gildeds. Yeah,
Yeah, but only because it was three at a time.
I lost mine to the server. I got almond bearded on
You
my
lost that to
gilded.
Joe Nate. He kicked you out the server, took your ship, and sold it, bro.
Pretty
That's what
much.
happened. Joe Nate said, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna get him out of here."
Yeah. I
And he
popped
sailed your
in.
ship. He sailed your ship with a smile on his face all the way to Keel Hall, man. Wait, did I just say that? Did I just say a fort, bro? God, I've been out for a while. I'm at Golden Sands.
Well, I
But no, he sailed
mean,
it to Keel Hall to get some TNT.
maybe in a future update you will be able just to beat the fort and then turn it in right at the fort right away with
Just have Jim there with a fucking bottle of booze, just like, yeah, I'll pay for this.
Yeah, but I did raise a support ticket and they did give me back my gilded. But I'm traumatized. Like I don't want to throw it down again. Like I don't want anything bad to happen. You know, like
You should throw down another ticket and says, all right, now you guys got to pay for another therapy session because that fucked me up.
I felt
That,
so fucking empty inside, like when that shit happened. Cause I got almond bearded and then I tried loading back in and it was a marble beard. And if you know anything about the marble beard, that means the server's fucked. You can't get back
yeah,
in.
yeah, I know all the beards, man. The only one I haven't seen was the red one. I've never seen a red one. I've seen every one but a red one.
Yeah. Um, any, any last words before we wrap up here?
I guess all I would have to say, man, is SOT was definitely a game that, even though it was a big mess, I don't regret it. I haven't said often that I loved everyone that I just hung out with, man, because I get along with anybody, man. SOT was a game where you choose your side, and you stick with your people, and you don't go talking to outsiders. But me, I was a little different, man. Even if you were hated in the community, loved in the community, I could vibe with anybody. I never really had genuine enemies. I've had people that I disliked, but at the end of the day, whether you were on this team or you were hated because of this or that. Hall just didn't give a fuck, man. It's been a pleasure hanging out with everyone in Sea of Thieves. Like, despite if they think that this entire talk is cringe or not, I guess I just have I have the final say to just say I appreciate hanging out with everybody and playing with them, and thank you for giving the homie the time, even though I was quite mental back in the day. You guys have really did a lot, man. It was a lot of fun. Definitely cherishable. Especially Coon Queese, bro. Coon Queese #1, bro. Buy merch. Yo chat, yo chat.
Well, I mean, you'll just know this, man. Whenever you feel like talking, you have the keys to the vault, to Magellan's vault, and you're always welcome to have a voice on my channel. Always.
That's cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. I feel it. I vibe it.
Cool, man. Thank you for this, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. All right. See you, chat.
Estado de Sinaloa, donde la mafia controla.